the action straight away. Who are we on board with? None other than LSN, a sniper of the team. But flipping over to the Russians who are on the attack, we've got Arsa, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a slow push to begin with.
Yeah, they've just got one sneaking through. Looks like it's going to go through connector. Now, I can't tell you who the heck it is. I can tell you it's number 2, but I can't tell you exactly who it is. You can see him right there. We can see him working his way through connector. So this is what we talked about. Are they going to try and overload A site? Look, that one guy and A site. It's a possibility, but at the moment, look at the aggression from ruLegends. They've actually pushed up on B site. They're looking to try and make an aggressive play. Now we can see it is going to be Drace making his way through, getting a peek in there. They've got the information they needed. They know the bridge is going to be the one where they're going to get challenged. And X dropping down, going very aggressive. Starting to push through, but LSN rocking the sniper currently. Obviously no clue that Treek is sitting there in the smoke. It's all very easy for us to say when we can see them through the smoke with their X-ray on, but it is going to be an A play. They're slowly setting up for it through connector.
Yep, 70kg obviously will be holding that 8 site down. It's going to be a tough wall to break down. But it's Vans pushing forward, and here we go. Make it 4. They're all putting in some pressure, and they're going to come in. The numbers do go down. ZQ finding 2, finding the 3rd, and 70kg leaves Treek all in a 1 versus 4, and that is only ending one way. And it is going to all gamers, round number 1.
Yeah, round number 1 goes the way we expected this one. China getting themselves on the board, getting themselves in the lead. So, Russia, they did get themselves first blood. Treek managed to find himself 1 on LSN, so they got themselves first blood, but that is about all that came from that one. Already hearing the gunfire rattle off as Even and TMQ once again look to go aggressive on the defense, trying to take control of the forward and really take control as much of the territory that they can to just cut the Russians' options down. It's just given a perfect opportunity. It's 70kg. No, it isn't. I tell a lie. It's LSN once again scoping down mid, just getting all the information they need, leaving 70kg all alone on A site. They're so confident in him.
Yeah, we've got 70kg again with the sniper. LSN sniper in the middle, and then it's these 3 other players just lingering around B. But I say lingering around B, they've actually made a bit of an aggressive defense here. TMQ and Even pushing out, just ready to trade that kill, but no one pushing forward just yet. Still playing it slow. ruLegends looking to make up their mind. A bit of damage, I think, coming in. That's coming in for Vass. Now, again, you can see them. They're hopping around. They're trying to get that first peek. Drace is making a move, though, straight through the middle and looking to go through connector.
LSN might well spot them out here. ZQ also looking to push up. They're going to go through connector, though, so 70kg all alone once again on the top of A site as 4 members of ruLegends try to push, and it's one man trying to sell the dummy. It's Treek. Now, if Treek loses out this duel, he's having a duel with TMQ right now. If he loses out that duel, he's going to give the game away. He's going to come around the corner. He is going to get gunned down. Now they know exactly where it is. They're going to try and put pressure on 70kg. He takes himself down 1 already. Arsa gets dropped as soon as they come around the corner. Finally, they manage to storm A site, but it's too little, too late. It's a 2-on-3, but the health of all gamers is pretty low. But it doesn't matter. Drace all alone.
Drace in a 1 versus 3 now. They've all taken damage, and it's not enough as Even picks up the double. A man we've talked about already for his clutch situations, but this time, just putting 2 to bed there. Put 2 rounds in the lead. That's going to be all gamers now. As they reset here, we're going to see 70kg heading over to A. And again, the same setup, and you know what? Don't try and fix something that isn't broken.
Yeah, the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that seems to be how it's working for all gamers. Once again, they have that control. TMQ goes aggressive, pushes up on B site. They haven't even got close to B site right now. Every time it's been A site. Now, are they going to try and switch things up, or are they going to keep trying to hit that nail hard? And 70kg, as you saw, all he needs to do is do 1 trade. Now that he's got the sniper, as he did in the last round, he's picking up kill after kill. 3 kills already, 2 rounds in, tells you that 70kg is not being moved very successfully. We talked about trying to put pressure on one of those players. It is going to be a B-side push this time, Phil. They're going to try and stack it up. And I think it's going to be LSN just around the corner. ZQ is going to be the man they've got to focus, but he's already got himself 4 frags on the board.
Yep, ZQ is going to be under pressure, and he's backing off here, but on the attack, it's 3 pushing through now, and this could be a very good trade here If ruLegends can get into the B side, but they're not, they're actually going to retract. Maybe double up into the middle. Let's not forget they've already got the first 2 picks. A 5 versus 3 here. This could be round number 1 on the board for ruLegends, and they're looking to storm A. They're pushing forward. 70 kg flashing out, picks off 1, picks off the second, finds nearly the third, but he does inevitably go down. ZQ now in a 1 versus 3.
This could be the first round for them. ZQ got himself 4 frags in the opening 2 rounds. He's going to have to go huge here in a 1-on-3 situation. Gets a little glimpse of face on the top of A side there. Got a little peek, comes around, finds the shot on X. Now, he's got the hit points to do this. Got himself 5 frags already as he pushes on through. Face gets a little glimpse, almost manages to catch his head. Face pops around, and finally the Russians get themselves a round on the board.
1 in 3. If it didn't work, the first few times they changed things up, they baited it out at B, and then they turned things right around, and now this is completely different. Look at that minimap, a full B stack here. And in fact, all gamers have gone heavy defense over at A, so who is the player at B going to have to defend?
ZQ, yeah.
ZQ once again.
ZQ all alone here at the moment. He has got support from Even, but he's got to make some tracks here, and they're just going to go push. They're going to go fast. He's going to get just straight around the corner there. Can they try and chase him down? Even tries to get the shots in. Even is there in support. Gets himself 1, gets himself a second. LSN comes in, and this has gone horribly wrong. It's a 2-on-2 situation now. The Russians in a little bit of a ponder. 70 kg making the push from A site, and TMQ, he's making the road, going all around the world, and he's going to be coming from the attacking side. Are they expecting this? Yes, they are. You can see there's 1 man peeking that way. It's going to be Arsa. Arsa's going to be the man to watch. TMQ yet to find himself a frag so far, by the way, in this game as he comes around the corner. Gets a glimpse on Arsa. He's got 70 kg with him. There's the grenade coming straight on top of him. They're going to try and push through the middle. Arsa gets himself 1. There's the second. It's all square. 2-2. The Russians are right back in it.
You can see the hype there in the booth from the Russians. All square here at 2-2. And what a way. I think it was almost a little bit too slow. All gamers were trying to take back that B bomb site, but they were a little bit too slow on that. They need to adapt a little bit quicker. But already, round number 5, 2.5 minutes on that clock. And this time, the Russians just looking to spread their attack all over. Just play things a little bit slower. However, grenades coming thick and fast on A long. It's going to be X as well. Just holding that, not pushing anything too much, but you've got to look at TMQ. He needs to pick something up this round, I feel.
He's getting a little peeking connector at the moment. And as you say, all gamers a little unsure. They've gone to almost the default positions right now. They've stacked 3 in the middle. They're just trading positions, having a little look around. 70 kgs may be called for support because it is TMQ that's just rotated over there. LSN keeping that eye on mid, but you can see the 3 stack from Russian, all making their way into B site once again to keep the pressure onto ZQ and Even. But this time they have the double stack, so they need to land some good flashes, or that initial opening approach has got to be big. ZQ comes around the corner. Now Drace and Treat get themselves the 2 B defenders, and suddenly there's a chance here. But on the overlap, look at the back. The bomb is on A site.
The bomb is nowhere to be seen, and there's going to be a triple. We didn't see it, but Drace and Vice there absolutely doing work over at B, taking them all down. And do you know what? They were on so little health as well. And now for the first time in the game, ruLegends take the lead here, and we reset 3-2.
Interesting tactic change there from the Russians. Very ballsy play because obviously, you know, they just had 2 successful B attacks, and that was what really pulled the attention of all gamers. They were like, it's B again, rotate. But they caught them in the back on the rotate. 70 kg had no chance there getting caught in the back. He's down to 5-4. He was doing so well, but TMQ still yet to get a frag on the board. Not something you like to see from the defenders in the opening 5 rounds. But here we go once again. It all looked so easy, didn't it, at the beginning? But suddenly, the Chinese team find themselves 1 round down. Now, don't forget, attack inside is where it's at on this map. So any defensive rounds are good right now.
This round in particular going a little bit slower than normal. We saw things edging towards the middle, now towards B. Again, you're going to have ZQ. You're going to have Even. 2 players which we've seen so much of and so many great things. But in fact, looking at that minimap, we're actually going to see a bit of a rotation towards middle now, trying to break through. Of course, LSN has locked down the middle for all gamers for the last 5. But a minute on the clock. move needs to be made right now.
The B defenders, once again, even, and ZQ. In a little creep, and that's Treek finding a shot on TMQ through the little cubby there. Once again, they managed to find him out there. Now it's pulled the attention. Evans had to go for the rotate, and it's left one man alone, while the other four start to stack out. They're going to challenge 70 kg, but he's not in the usual position. He switched in positions, and that's why he manages to land the shot on Vase the second he comes around the corner. The grenade goes out, actually a little bit skew, and it doesn't work in his favor. Gets taken down by X, and suddenly the Russians have control. But look at this turnaround. Holy moly, LSN just comes in and guns down the entire Russian team. Takes it all on his own, and it's 3-3.
Another round for the defensive side of All Gamers. Looking good here. And LSN doing absolute work. He held the mid there, but he bided his time. And we're going to see the same setup. LSN watching that mid. 70 kg over A. How can the Russians adapt to this one? Their B seem to be better. Their B attack seem to be a lot better, a lot more successful. Really would not surprise me if they continue with that. TMQ yet to pick up anything. Of course, 3 rounds, you can't knock it too much, but be good to see as an individual to pick up some kills.
Aggressive defensive positioning once again, though. Him and Even have pushed themselves up into the forward room outside of B site, ahead of B site, and it may try and catch the Russians off guard. They're going to try and storm the way in there right now. It's going to be Vase. It looks like he's going to be leading it. No, Drace. Drace is going to be the first man through. Now, there's the flash. Actually flashes himself out there. It's an even trade, 1-for-1. Even, speaking of even, is in there, and that's another trade, 1-for-1. So far, so good for the Russians, but they caught in the back there by TSN, and that's not good. So, now the two members of the Russians have themselves a bit of a predicament. There's a little split up right now, and the bomb looks like it may try and make its way to A site. Now, All Gamers are already covering this one off. You can see LSN's already making his way over to A site. So, as it is, they're going to keep the two together. ZQ and 70kg going to push up.
Good to see TMQ getting on the score sheet as well. This is where we're going to get a bit of action. 70kg finds one with a pistol, and another goes down. ZQ doesn't even let the trade come in there. And another round, we talk about how powerful the attack is, but All Gamers are making it look easy on the defense here. 4-3.
Trading back and forward these rounds so far, aren't they? More importantly, TMQ got himself a frag on the board at last, but this is going to be a quick, fast push. Fast and furious, and it has not worked out. The Chinese hold strong. It's a 3-for-3 in the end as Treek decides to back away with just a nigh-on slither of health. But even as EQ very low here, Vase has got himself a good chance. The bomb's still in the hands of the Russians, so they didn't lose it down A-Long there, despite the massacre that just occurred.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look at that minimap for a second. Of course, the bomb is on the way to B. The two players defending have no idea that this come down, and they're going to have a bit of a shock here. Time will be of the essence, and they'll have to get over to this B site. Treek is very, very low on health, but so is ZQ, so is Even. The man who should be able to clutch this one up is Vice, but now trying to retake.
He's not looking though, is he? He's not looking. They're expecting the push from A site, sorry. Now he's realised, now they've switched position. No, he's still not coming off. They could be in on B site before he gets in position. Finally, they rotate. Finally, Vice is in position. Finally, they get a glimpse of what is coming their way. Treek tosses out the nade. He finds himself one. There's the second. And it is ruLegends once again picking up another round. Back and forth. The action goes 4-4.
Well, it doesn't get closer than this. However, for me, again, Vice, such an influential player, and this is going to be fast. They did it at A last time. It didn't work at the start. Flashes go in. Make it a frag as well, and this is all going down at B. 2 minutes on the clock. And now they're backing off. They've retreated. The flashes were too much for them. And they're just going to reset here. Everyone's still on the battlefield, though. No damage has been done just yet.
Great half so far from Vice. 9 frags for him, of course, as well as Even, who's been holding the B site, but has also been doing a lot of retakes as well. And we shouldn't obviously forget the awesome retake from LSM when he managed to get that quick triple. Quick and dirty. Pressure onto TMQ, who's made the adjustments, actually. He's now the A defender at the moment. And it's Treek just trying to find himself a bit of action, looking for LSN through the little hole sniper there, but it's not working out for him. Looking towards to find someone at bridge. You can see TMQ, deep defensive position now. Got himself pinned in. They know exactly where he is, and they're starting to aim the nades at him. He's having to back away. Only still got that one frag on the board, by the way. The bomb, though, making its way over to B site once again. So, yet again, it will be ZQ and Even. They're meant to defend the B site.
Yeah, and so far so good for our new legends on B side. They've infiltrated a couple of times, but look at the position from ZQ. He should be able to pick up something here. Flash grenades going out. Smokes as well. Oh my. Something's gone wrong. I think we just got flashed for a second, but no. We will, of course, try and update you exactly what went down there, but even maybe we can guess from his facial expression. Yeah.
That looked like a slight problem. As I think we can call it a fade to black. A fade to black for everyone.
Yeah.
As it was. So, tense moment, certainly. Last round of the half, so probably about the worst time for it to happen as ruLegends were just bursting through. But still, no one lost anyone. 70 kg, keeping it cool. Keeping his team focused as they reset themselves and get themselves set back up for this one. 4-4 though. I don't think anyone was quite expecting ruLegends to come out and make quite the impact they have here. Especially when they started off 2-0, it was like, okay, here we go. All gamers, stretch the legs. Job done. But definitely a couple of surprises coming out from ruLegends there. Keeping all gamers very much guessing in the defensive stays.
Okay, so we will be getting back into the action as soon as possible. And I think just to touch on it, it was a good job. You know, all 10 were still alive. They were pushing into the B-bomb site, but you can see almost how much it means to them just on the expressions of all these players. But for me, it is a real kind of mental advantage almost going into that second half with that advantage over your opponent. 5-4 as well, so close, so narrow. But you're right, those first two rounds, they went in favour of all gamers. We saw ruLegends bounce back, put it to 2-2, and ever since then, it just went back and forth between the two squads.
The problem is, even if ruLegends were to pick up this final round, is 5-4 enough? Is it enough for them to hold on the defense? Because defense, it can be hard. It can be hard on port because it's such a widespread map, effectively. You can be split quite easily down the middle, and the retakes. I just feel that maybe all gamers, despite the fact it is only 4-4, not the best. You'd expect them to maybe blitz their opponents here. Big favourites compared to ruLegends. I think, you know, when we turn to attack, Chinese teams tend to be very good on attack, no doubt about it. They're going to be trying to swarm over the Russians. Now, the question is, will they be able to hold them? I don't know. I mean, a lot of pressure on them, no doubt about it. But so far, we are at 4-4 here in Shouju. Going to get the name right eventually. I don't know, my pronunciation, our English tongues, it never really works that well, Phil.
See, I was told, you know, keep Sue and Joe.
Sue and Joe together.
Suzhou.
Yeah, it's like a couple.
But everyone says it differently. I've heard Suzhou.
Suzhou.
Suzhou. I mean, we can just try our best. We'll try our best.
We're going to go with Suzhou. Suzhou. Nice and easy. We're in the Doshu. That's it. That's the easy part. Doshu arena.
But, I mean, what an arena. We're a massive arena here. It will be packed is what we've told. Yeah. We've already got the crowds coming in already. And
is it actually a table tennis arena? Because I know table tennis is massive in China, and there is table tennis courts here. So,
I'm not sure if it's
you call them
courts.
I don't know whether you call them courts or just tables. Or
I'm not too sure, but I've seen basketball nets as well here.
That's true. I
think it just accommodates all.
It's just a gym. It's a giant gym. A giant gym with a giant arena in it. Not your average gym. I don't know about your gym. Actually, I do know about your gym because we are at the same gym. Not that I can say I go to the gym much, but yeah, I don't think good old McFit have a 3,000 plus arena in there.
Yeah,
maybe they do. Maybe it's tucked away in one of those buildings somewhere behind one of those doors. You'd be worried.
3,000 people watching me in the gym. That ain't happening. Yep, I don't want that to happen.
You vlog that stuff, and maybe you get 3,000 eventually in there. Who knows? But
one day.
We're just waiting for the game to get itself restarted, of course. We were just in the final round before half-time. And, yeah. Did they actually have it?
I think it cut when it cut for us, I guess.
I think the observers cut, but I can see AG are setting themselves up in blacklist, so maybe maybe they finish the round.
Well, we'll get it updated, and it was a bit frustrating. We were so close to the break. We were so close to just having that half time.
Yeah, they were on the attack. It was like, this is the final moments.
And it all went dead, and it wasn't good. But yes, it does look like AG again ready on the blacklist side. Port, though. Port hasn't disappointed for me. We talked about it before the game. It was our favourite map.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so diverse, and I think it's very hard to kind of break into both bomb sites, but as the attack inside, you can put numbers at one site. You know, you can put a 4 or a 5 versus 2 if you like. We saw Even and ZQ just holding B. And you can overpower it, but then it's how the other team rotates. They can push right through the back, through the middle. We obviously see through the corridors almost. There's a lot that goes into Port, and I think that's definitely why it's my favourite, as well as the diversity in kind of heights. But yeah, an all-round fantastic map. But of course, quick reminder, it is a best of 1. It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Obviously, the annoying thing for us now is they're going to change places, and the numbers are all going to be different, so we have to learn their numbers and positions all over again. But they are just sorting sound out. I think the Russians have a sound issue, so they're just getting that sorted out. He did just say fixed sound. And they are sorting themselves out, so okay. So they're just going to be joining in. Hopefully we're getting ready to go in just a moment. If you just joined us, thank you very much and welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to Stage A. Stage B is also going to be underway around about now, I feel. I know they were starting about 20 minutes later, so
yeah,
they probably should just be about kicking off. But right here we have all gamers up against ruLegends. It is the Chinese versus Russian champions versus the Chinese. I can't call them champions, really. They're the invitational champions, but they weren't the Chinese champions. I don't know what we call them, really.
It's difficult,
but
in their own right...
They've won a lot.
Yeah, in their own right, they're both champions, of course, the other Chinese squad being Vici Gaming. And I think we just based it off what we've seen most recently. That was the invitational. It was, in Manila, and it was all gamers who took it. So they're coming off a bit of a hot win and going into this very, very confident. You know, coming off the back of a win, you go into any tournament very, very confident.
Yeah.
But of course, they will have in the back of their mind, of course, Vici Gaming, their fellow countrymen.
Well, they're about to get ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go, second half underway. We'll get you updated exactly what the score is in just a moment. As soon as it comes on our screens and your screens, we will know and you will know. It'll be like a sharing experience for everyone.
We're all in this together.
A social experiment, maybe. Who knows?
Exactly. But the game is underway, and it is 5-4.
ruLegends. There we go. Get in there. The Russians take the round, and here we go. All gamers on the attack.
Okay, so ruLegends on... it's Arsa, actually. He's on... Yeah, so they flip the sides, and Arsa will be on the defense now. Holding back.
So they're going with a double defense on A side, so they're keeping X and Arsa over there. You can see 5 and 4, they're going to be over there. They're going to keep the, obviously, sniper. Different position, going to be sitting on the bridge, of course, just on the left side as opposed to the right. And it's going to be Treek that does that. Gets a little peek across at 70 kg. Single shot comes off, but there's a man in connector right now. But the rest of all gamers are stacking up towards B side. And, of course, that is going to be where Vase has a lot of work to do. Drace is with him, but he's a long way off, and he's going to have to make a bit of a rotate to get in there. So Vase really has a heck of a job to do here as soon as the smokes come out.
You can see as well how grouped together all gamers are. They're going to be pushing into B. It seems like they've committed. The smokes are coming out. I believe the flashes are ready. And now it's just when they decide to go. 70 kg deciding just to hold back a little bit.
Trace has got a view. I think you can see him hopping up there. He's like, yeah, they're definitely in this room. They're definitely in there. Okay, he pops down, gives the support. Now, is the rotate going to come heavily? That's the question, because they have 2 members looking to pick them off. They've actually got 2 coming up mid right now. TMQ and 70 kg are through mid. Now, they've got to get careful they don't get caught out. Keep your eye on that one. Trace gets taken down. Treek manages to get a reply, but it is all gamers that are going to burst on through. X manages to get himself one on the rotate, coming over from A side, along with Arsa. Now we're into a 2-on-2, but it's not good for the Russians. They are both low on health. ZQ and Even pushing around the corner.
30 seconds to go. The bomb is not down, and a 1v2. The man is Even. He has everything to do now, but look at the double here. X and Arsa, back to back. They have the numbers, and with 20 seconds, Even's going to get taken down. The trade did come in. It was a good clinical play there from ruLegends.
Perfect push, perfect push. What do? In a 2-on-1, you double push him. He's only going to get one of you, and obviously at this level, you'd expect anyone to hit that shot. 6-4, advantage ruLegends, the first round of the defensive. Are all gamers going to switch things up? Are they going to go fast and furious? At the moment, they're going to hold steady in position. They are starting to take a little bit more control of mid, though, than the Russians managed in their attacking side. Yeah,
this is where we talked about the side of all gamers being so aggressive. We've not seen it just yet, but we've seen many, many times them go, 4, even 5-man up A-long, really put the pressure on, and maybe we'll see that in a few rounds to come.
It's interesting. It's obviously the pressure that you get by having a player like 70kg in there with that sniper. They don't want to challenge him. Now, he's not even using the sniper. He's using the M4 at the moment, so he's not even using that sniper. This is aggressive stuff. The Russians, Arsa and Treek, actually going aggressive down A-long. Now, there is one member. It is ZQ just around the corner if he gets a little peek. So they managed to hop themselves away. You can see them bounce, 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 making their way back there. Now there's 4 members of all gamers all start to stack out around A-site. So they've read this well. They've just got to be careful they don't get themselves caught in the mind games here. X is going to be the man that takes some fire, but he doesn't get taken down. He keeps his head low, and it works out well for him. All gamers back away and start to make the way towards B site.
Now, they only have a minute on the clock. It's enough to do the rotate if they need to. They can commit here to A, but you can just see the power position that X was in there. No one wants to challenge him. And now TMQ and Even, they doubled up on the defense. Now they're doubling up on the aggression. I say doubling up. Look at the 4-man stack here. Edging their way through.
Formation-style movement here. It's perfect and clean.
There's only 2 in defense.
Yeah, it's the 2 that did it before, though. It's Drace and Arsa. They're going to have to go aggressive here as they pop around the corner. It doesn't work out for them. Drace gets taken down by ZQ. Arsa also still staying in there. Oh, he came out late, but he still got taken down. Easy stuff there for all gamers. Now it's a 4-on-2. Treek and X, they have a lot of work to do. You can see on your screens here, Treek comes around the side. It's a 1-for-1 trade. And now X in a 1v3, almost unwinnable situation as he gets peppered by grenades as he tries to come around the corner. This is the beauty. Like, all gamers held everything back. They didn't toss those nades out early, so now they just have a plethora. And look at all 3 of them push out perfectly in unison and just charge him down. X had no chance there.
It's almost unwinnable. And round number 5 for all gamers is put on the chart. Now, will we see that aggressive playstyle just yet? A 2-2-1. Pretty standard stuff so far here. But it's a very, very good start for Even. Already picking up 5 frags so far. LSN popping some smokes down the middle here. We'll be clearing a pathway maybe to get into connector. However, look at X. He's anticipating that push. He's waiting for this, and LSN is going to find himself in a world of trouble if he goes up that ladder.
Treek's about to get a little peek down mid, actually. They've just given mid control completely to all gamers. They dare not even look. He is going to look, though, and X finds LSN as he tries to work his way through connector. Now, that's given him a lot of information, that single kill, because there's no support, which means A site is almost certainly a little safe right now. So let's get someone over to B site. Treek is making his way there. So they're going to have themselves 3 members. He has a little peek back mid and backs away. So now he doesn't realize it. Now the rotate comes out. Now they've gone for the counter take here, the retake play, sorry. Vase and Drace sitting very deep on B site, so they're not going to go aggressive. Drace finds 70kg as soon as he comes around the corner. Bear in mind, it's 6-5. They're in a 5-on-3 position. This is really good for the Russians.
Yeah, this is potentially round number 7, and there we go. ZQ goes down. A 5 versus 2 as Even's under fire. He picks up 1, but the trade will come in. And now 3 versus 2 here. A very good stance. TMQ picking up a nice double, and this actually could be a round. If they can just pick up 1 more, but the gunfire's going down, this shouldn't be the case. And Zeven, he's made it a 2v2. This went from a 5v3 to a 2v2. 45 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb is going to go down.
This is not how it should play out here. 2-on-2. This is advantage all gamers right now. The shots come through. It is going to go Russians' way, but by God did it go the distance. He finds it, will get the defuse in no problem. It's 7-5 for ruLegends. Could we have an upset on our hands here? First to 10. Apparently it says 8-5 in the score. I don't count where that's from. They've managed to give it 2 points in there. I don't know where that's gone, but it's 7-5 by my count.
There we go. There we go. It is changed. Keeping your eyes
Someone
on
getting excited on the scoreboard.
Trying to give him an extra 1. However, in my eyes, that was very, very close. Shouldn't have gone down that way, but the Russians are being aggressive on the defense, and it is working.
Wow.
Drace picks up one. Arsa finds a second, and LSN and TMQ have been erased from this round instantly.
This is basically what they've gained from their aggressive play, from how it's worked on the attack, their successful defense. It's just bought them that moment where they can surprise all gamers. All gamers themselves were trying to go aggressive. They were trying to push, pile on through into B site, bam, ran headlong into a stack of grenades, a stack of gunfire, and suddenly they're in that 5-on-3 situation. Now they almost won a 5-on-3. Let's not get carried away here, but they're on the rotate, and you can look at the mini-map. ruLegends have the complete spread right now. They even have the guy looking down mid, so they're ballsy. Treek actually peeking at last.
Now, it was a 5v3 last time. They nearly threw it away. They shouldn't lose this round. It should be going to the Russians.
Keep your head down, X. Keep your head down, son. Almost. You heard the bullet rattle past there. Almost caught him out. They're actually rotating back. They're going to go over towards B side. And look at the minimap. All gamers have not, ruLegends, have not even moved. They didn't panic. They didn't overload A site. All gamers may well have just caught wind of this and thinking, hang on, we may need to go back here. We may need to try this again. Back to X, keeping his head down as ZQ pushes.
ZQ is pushing forward. He's pre-firing the corners. Not sure if that's going to help him now, but he even finds one. Even finds a second. He makes it even in a 3 versus 3, and he does even better, but X is going to put one down. Even finds a fourth, and now a 2 versus 2 with 70 kg. He's in a 1v2.
Just 70 kg. He's got the bomb. He's going to get the plant down here, so the retake is for ruLegends. You can see it's Vice and Drace. They've been very successful over on B site, but now they have to push. 70 kg. Great flash coming out there. That's actually going to catch Drace, and it will slow them down as they push in. Gets himself just around the side there, flashed out, but they know his position. He's given up a little bit of space here. Pops up. Drace finds him. Now it's 8-5 to the Russians.
And that, again, number advantage. It helps them in the end, but the Russians like to put this one to the wire. And I've got to highlight even picking up a 4K there. Incredible stuff, but it wasn't enough. All gamers lack now, and they're behind by 3.
But another 5-on-3 that almost went awry. That's two rounds running. They've had a massive advantage. They have to try and stack one out here, because I got a feeling all gamers are going to come back heavy and hard. Treek just around the side on bridge. Does he realize they're below him right now? They've managed to make through. He's going to hear the footsteps. Absolutely would have heard that. They came in through like a herd of elephants straight up mid there, which is why we're seeing the rotate. One man going to get a little peek down there from ruLegends. It's Arsa. Arsa was going to get a little peek down. Treek on bridge. Arsa at the back side. Now 5 of them all going to burst through into B site. Vice and Drace got it all to do. It's almost a reverse situation of what we saw before it crashed.
Yeah, and Drace is doing exactly the same. He's checking out who is in that area, and already Bison popped one through the window. Trades come in. Drace also finds one. He finds a second, and he even does take him down, but it's a 2v3. The numbers go for the Russians once again.
They've got the bomb. They're going to get the plant in. And it's a slow. They're looking for the flank right now. You can see the Russians were actually looking around A site. They were wondering where the flank was going to come from. It's not coming. Now you can see LSN. LSN's went huge, remember. He's only on a 1-on-4 so far, and he gets taken down by Arsa once again. It's 9-5, ladies and gentlemen. Match point.
Match point, game point. This is a best of one, remember. The Russians have come to play. They've been here before. They have not performed to their standards, and now this is a chance to really push it all the way.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, didn't we, at Manila? We talked about Boss taking him down. It's just carnage. They've gone straight down A side. It is a 2-for-2 in the blender as they come running around the corner. Make it a 2-for-3. Make it a 1-on-3. Suddenly, all gamers could be going down to the loser match. It's a 2-on-1. Even with it all to do right now, he's been such a big player for them. 13-4. He's carried all gamers on his back. But is it enough? The Russians in a 2-on-1 situation have this in control. Even finally picks up the bomb. He's got a free run to A site now, and you can see the flank is already coming. Vice already has eyes on it, but he's on his own, so it's almost effectively 2 1-on-1s. Even could do it. No! He finds it, and ruLegends take them down 10-5. All gamers knocked to the loser bracket. Who the hell would have thought this was coming?
Well, certainly not me. We talked about the game previously, but the Russians, they are here, and they want to taste that victory. They've already have a little snippet now, but you've got to think back to Manila, myself and yourself, D-Man, that we were there. They had a shaky start. They didn't perform on day one. It seems like they had a little bit of a shaky start, and it was after that initial cutout. They were doing